What's up, sports bettors? I know I've given out a lot of player props, but sports books have started to post NFL player prop odds for this weekend, and I was able to find some early value. So I'm going to show you how I find these player props. And again, there's a lot of strategies for making money on OddsJam. You can browse odds for free. Any sport you want to look at, right? Whatever state you're in, OddsJam will update to show you all books in your location. And as a sharp bettor, you just want to hunt and look for value. So this is how I think as a sharp data-driven bettor. Is like, hey, this Arthur guy, his line on Prize Picks, his shots on goal line is 2 on Prize Picks. Underdog Fantasy, their direct competitor, has the line at 2.5, as well as all the sports books. So maybe there's some value on the over 2. Seems like Prize Picks is a bit of a market inefficiency. Their line is too low, right? Half a shot on goal lower than everyone else. But maybe not, because the sports books have the under juiced, but it's not super juiced. So maybe we'd want to take the over, right? That's how you want to think as a sharp data-driven bettor. You treat all these sports books as independent data points of where should the line be set, and you hunt for value. So that's one strategy, right? You can just manually search around NFL odds. But what's cool about this screen is it will show you for, whatever market you want to look at. You can change the market and all that type of stuff. Every sportsbook that has odds posted, it will show you them side by side. So for example, what we can see here is every sportsbook has Trevor Lawrence's line at 229.5. For some reason, Zach Wilson, it doesn't look like they've done a lot, or it looks like this line hasn't moved. It looks like only Underdog Fantasy is posting it. But all sportsbooks have Lawrence at 229.5, so clearly no value. We're just paying the juice if we bet on Trevor Lawrence over or under. All these sportsbooks have the line at the same level. There's no value. But what you'll notice here is, OMG, Tua is 290.5 on Underdog Fantasy, and he's 255.5. That's a 35-yard difference on Prize Picks. So what we'd want to take is the over on Prize Picks, over 255.5, and the under on Underdog, under 290.5. And occasionally, it's not going to happen every game, of course, but you can see here, against the Browns, he had exactly 285 passing yards. In that case, we would have cashed the over 255.5, which I have on Prize Picks, and then we also would have cashed the under. So you can see right here, we would have cashed the under 290.5 on Underdog if he had 285 passing yards. And we also would have cashed the over on Prize Picks, over 255.5. 35 yards is a big gap, right? You can see here, the middle almost hit as well against the 49ers and against the Texans. He had 295 and 299. Right? So his distribution is centered around like 280, 290 passing yards. So these differences, 255.5 versus 290.5, are massive. So you can see here I also took Cousins under 285.5. Again, just finding the screen. So you can see here, Cousins 285.5, Prize Picks 30-yard difference, 255.5. Wow, 30 yards. Hopefully Cousins ends with 270 passing yards and we cash the under, we cash the over, right? Same with Darnold. But in this case, Darnold was way lower on Underdog. Here, it's only a 15-yard difference. Like here, it's 6 yards. That's not a ton. I'm not going to pay the juice or vig for 6 yards for Mac Jones. But when it's 15 yards for Sam Darnold, that's a pretty big deal, So that's one I ended up locking in. Then on Prize Picks, I say this all the time, but on Prize Picks, you want to lean to bet 5 or 6 pick flex plays because the odds are advantageous. Whereas on Underdog Fantasy, 3 pick and 5 pick entries, power plays, no insurance, are what's optimal. So on Underdog Fantasy, I just made it a 3 pick. And then on Prize Picks, I made it a 5 pick flex play, right? Because that's optimal. So I just added in, I literally just added in, you can see right here, some plays from the EV tool. So the EV tool, what's cool about the screen is it lets us compare lines set at different levels. So here, it's easy for me to scan and be like, Derek Carr, 5-yard difference. What's the big deal? Tom Brady, 3 yards, no value. OMG, to a 35-yard difference. we want to middle that, right? This is a sports betting strategy, low risk. One bet's always going to win. My under 290 half is going to win, or my over 255 half is going to win. But what's really cool is I have the opportunity to win both bets. I'm praying for Tua to have exactly 270 passing yards. But what the EV tool does is it compares lines set at the same level. So what it's showing us is, hey, this Adrian Kempe guy, over 2.5 shots on goal is a great play because all the sports books, most sports books, Pinnacle, sharpest bookmaker in the world, Bet Online, the big three, DraftKings, FanDuel, Caesars, MGM, the big four, I guess, they're all roughly minus 150 on average. Seems pretty good getting it minus 119. All these sports books try to set lines independently. We ruthlessly find value. So hopefully this was helpful. Let's make money.